Still here, just doing some errands while you get ready.
Remember to mute that. All right. We are live on YouTube. I've already got some folks here. Feel free to chime in and let us know where you are watching us from. We are so grateful that you're here. And let me just get a few things clear here. All right. Oops. Stand by while I figure out the technicalities of this. You'd think I'd have this down to a fine art by now, but every time is something new. I want to make sure all of the information is there, the info box. All right, there we go. All right, awesome. Now I can see the comments from folks. Sweden, Texas, Arkansas, Dallas, Northern California. Excellent, excellent. Scott, where are you in at the moment? You're in Mexico, correct?
Yes, Ajijic, central Mexico, near Guadalajara.
Excellent. And I'm in Sacramento, California.
Aren't you?
The Canary Islands. Awesome, awesome.
Uh,
So, thanks everyone for joining me for another episode of Tag Team Tapping. It's a little thing that my buddy Evan and I came up with for expanding the information about tapping and having some fun with it while allowing folks to experience different styles of tapping. And I'm here today with my friend Scott Grace. We've known each other for over 20 years now. Met at a energy psychology conference ages ago when Scott was a wandering minstrel at the the conference, walking around singing positive songs. And back then, I came up with a little tune and some words about a song about tapping to clear resentments. And Scott, being the fine musician he is, was able to flesh that out into an actual song. And I meant to get I'll look for the link later and I'll put that in the box. But thank you for joining me, Scott.
I am so glad to be here, Brad. This is a dream come true. I used to play tag when I was a kid, tag team, but I never thought I could combine it with tapping.
Yeah. It's a fun way to do it. And we want to have some fun with it because playfulness and creativity is what we're here to talk about. That's why, of course, I'm wearing my Bowie shirt, the patron saint of creativity, and for me. And so, yeah, we're gonna do some tapping because creativity is such a valuable thing in life, and it's inherent in who we are. But as Picasso said, every child is an artist. The problem is remaining an artist once we grow up because so many beliefs and experiences just stuff that down, and we can so often get a belief that we don't have that. And so Scott and I are here today to remove what doesn't belong to reveal that fun creativity that's inside and all the benefits that can come from that personally and professionally. So why don't you, but this was your suggestion for today. What inspired you to say, "Hey, let's talk and tap about that"?
I have been having so much fun freeing up my creativity, becoming a child again. My whole adult life seems to be more about growing down. And I am just wanting to share that with people, the joy of being spontaneous, being foolish, and seeing the wisdom in making lots of mistakes and splashing around in the puddles and making a mess.
The great Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "If you would be successful, be willing to look foolish."
Indeed.
So I think that's something that you and I have in common. That willingness to be so. I have sometimes thought that one of the keys to my success, and certainly to my happiness and mental well-being, is the retention of a childlike sense of wonder, and to be able to walk around and just go, "Oh, isn't that cool?" Whereas grown-ups would go, "What are you looking at?" Don't you see how these things come together and it makes this? Yeah.
So, welcome to the 12-step group, Grown-ups in Recovery.
Hi, I'm Brad. I'm a recovering grown-up. A recovering adult. So, yeah, so let's do some tapping to clear that. So what I always like to get people centered and grounded first. So everyone go ahead, get yourselves comfortable. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and hold it, and let it go. Now, just breathing comfortably with your eyes closed, go ahead and feel your feet on the floor or whatever part of you is connected to something. Allow yourself to feel that connection. Allow yourself to feel centered and grounded. Allowing yourself to be right here, right now, as present as possible, so as to receive maximum benefit from this hour. And just following your breath through your body, just allow yourself to be aware of what's going on in there. Noticing what you're feeling physically and what you're feeling emotionally. And just following that, noticing how you're feeling. Allow yourself to be aware on a scale of 0 to 10, how joyfully and playfully creative you allow yourself to be. And do not judge yourself harshly if the number is lower than you'd like it to be. Just allow yourself to sort of get a benchmark of, you know, I am a totally free child or I am a total stick in the mud. uh, and just everything is black and white and no deviance from the straight line, and everything has always coloring inside the lines and only using muted colors or whatever it might be. Um, just notice what goes on in there. Again, not judging yourself, just allowing yourself to get curious and notice what that feels like in your body as you think about it. As you imagine coloring outside the lines and allowing yourself to be more playful, what fear might come up? What are you afraid people would think of you? How are you afraid that you might screw up? And what will be the consequences of that? So notice what you feel physically, what you feel emotionally, and allow yourself to be aware of any thoughts, beliefs, or memories that might come up as to why you should have these fears, as to why it wouldn't be safe to feel more playful and creative. And just allow yourself to be aware of what's going on in there. Keep that in mind and what's going on for you, and take a deep breath, open your eyes, and let's help folks clear that stuff out.
You betcha.
So, so we're going to start off a little bit differently than other tag team tapping. Scott had an idea of doing a rhyming thing. So I'm gonna start the round with the first phrase, and we're gonna see what happens. So please join us. Even though I might stifle my creativity,
I am willing to love and excite and stimulate my creative juices.
even though I might stifle my creativity,
Yes, even though I have a proclivity for stifling my creativity, I do have the ability to love, honor, and accept myself no matter what.
and even though sometimes I just feel stuck with this,
Even though I sometimes feel stuck, I can sing the blues and pay my dues about how stuck I feel, knowing that the stuckness is not real. And I don't need to make it a big deal because on its own, it's just going to come, go, and heal.
You guys were repeating all that, right?
Yeah, don't bother. Just breathe and receive.
And even though this stuff comes up, I choose to deeply and completely love and accept myself. All these blocks to my creativity,
All these fears that I don't have the ability,
all this stuff that gets in my way.
all the stuff that makes me say, oy vey.
What the heck am I so afraid of?
Maybe it's fear that this mask of me is made of.
Why do I insist on holding on to it?
Thank God I don't need to answer that question because it gives me a lot of indigestion. It keeps me stuck in my head. So I'm out of my head and on to the creative page.
And even though I didn't catch all of that,
I'm still one cool Brad Yates cat.
and I'm clearing all the discomfort that might come up.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just realizing that the perfectionist that I learned to be is not comfortable with creativity.
Because I'm so afraid of getting it wrong.
It's just a lot of old shame that I'm ready to release.
Because then I can get me some peace.
And not only peace of mind, but a piece of the creative pie.
I'd like some of that, and that's no lie.
Brad didn't think I'd put him on the spot.
I had to tap into my inner tot.
I thought you were going to say, I blame you, Scott.
I'm not into blame.
Yes, it's a very outdated game.
I'm
So
giving
let me
my.
stop.
Oh, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. So let me stop blaming myself for when my creativity feels blocked.
Clearing the times that my ego got knocked.
And maybe some vows that I shouldn't even get back up again. That falling down means just something terrible has happened.
And whatever it was, I survived it.
As a stand up comedian, I'm very familiar with the fact that people say he died out there. So all this fear that making a mistake could actually really seriously hurt me.
This fear that if I do something creative, they'll physically attack me.
Yeah. All this fear that I'll be burned at the stake for making a mistake,
Clearing this at a cellular level,
so that I and my inner child can learn to revel.
giving myself permission to have fun.
And this round of tapping is over and done.
In body, mind, and
Body,
spirit.
mind, and spirit.
Everybody take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Close your eyes, go inside. Just let that rattle around inside. Notice what's going on in there. Notice those parts that were like, "Oh my God, that was fun." Notice those parts that might go, "Well, that was silly," and not in a positive way, like
Mhm.
as though silly was a insult. And and be totally okay with that because we're okay with that. We're willing to have you think that we're silly and allow yourself to just notice, okay, if I have that judgment, do I let that judgment stop me? Because we're only the judgments that we are afraid other people will have of us are only there because we're afraid that we're going to have because we have that same judgment. If we're not afraid, it's like, no one's going to say that. If we believe when we believe we're awesome, we expect other people are going to say the same thing. And if they don't, it's like, well, they have blinders on. They're missing out.
Yeah.
So being aware of any judgment that we're feeling is the judgment that we're also going to be fearing others. There's a line that says, "Judge not, lest ye be judged." So I think I did a video on begrudge not, lest ye be begrudged. And begrudging other people their creative freedom, we're begrudging ourselves of creative freedom. So just allowing yourself, noticing what's going on in there and take a deep breath, open your eyes. Yeah. And feel free to comment things in here. I don't think I've been that much on the spot in the moment since I studied at the Groundlings a million years ago.
Was that an improv group?
hmm
Yeah, I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's a famous improv group in Los Angeles. A lot of people on SNL and comedians have come out of there. So after going to clown college, I spent a little time at the Groundlings. Improv was not my first love.
I'm just curious if you ever write a memoir, what you'd call it, Brad.
God only knows. That might actually be the title of the memoir.
God only knows. No, the Brian Wilson estate might have a problem with it. But but how about like what was your children's book? Wizard
The
tapping,
the Wizard's Wish.
the Wizard's Wish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the word wizard belongs in the title of your memoir.
That came from somebody calling me the EFT wizard
Yes,
back in the early days of my career.
yes.
So
When you were a humble man.
when I was humble, yes. Before I realized how freaking awesome. Now here's the thing though, is and everyone be tapping because I always tell people you can be humble while you're saying you're awesome as long as you acknowledge, and from my book, if you acknowledge where the awesomeness comes from. It's not like I started out as something less than that and then I made myself awesome.
Mm.
To me, it is a humble act to acknowledge I am I am an awesome part of the Creator's creation. To say otherwise, to say it's humble to say, well, I'm not so great, to me is dishonoring the Creator. And it's
And I would,
it's lack of humility if I say I'm more awesome than others. If I'm mixed up in that and I think that it's a thing that awesomeness is something that separates me or puts me above others, that's when it becomes a lack of humility. That's just my take on it.
may I disagree?
Absolutely.
No,
Tell
I'm not disagreeing with
me.
you. Are you kidding? No, but I was curious if we can take this aspect of the conversation and apply it to creativity, because many of us have had, negative grades based on our art and just different harsh judgments out there and then internally about our creations. And
Yeah.
what if we applied the same philosophy that everything we create, everything that comes out of us, from the giggles to the creations, start out awesome and end up awesome. But
Yeah.
there's nothing else to work with but the clay of awesomeness.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of goes along with Miles Davis saying, don't be afraid of
Mm,
making mistakes. There are none.
yeah, especially in jazz. Or Thomas Edison, how did you, somebody asked him, how did you feel each time you failed, 1,999 failed light bulbs? And he said, oh no, those wasn't failing. That was me practicing or getting better,
Yeah.
So
I found 1,000
anyway,
ways that didn't work. I've used
thank
that in
you.
tapping so often because as grown-ups, we barely allow ourselves to fail once, hardly twice, three times, and we're done, which is why we need to learn to walk as children. Because as adults, if we fell down twice, that's it. Walking obviously is not something I can do. Much less 1,000 times. It's like that's why we know the name medicine, because it's that willingness to look at it and not feel that disappointment. So maybe that's it. So folks, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and allow yourself to feel that fear of disappointment. Maybe it's the fear of disappointment that you just imagine when you try to think of doing something creative. Oh, I'd like to draw a picture, but it's not going to turn out right. Or maybe it's a memory of I drew something that I liked and I got a bad grade on it. Or I wrote a story and I was told it was stupid. Or I told my parents a joke and they said, don't give up your day job. Or whatever it might have been. However, your creativity was shut down and the disappointment of of trying to do something creative and getting something far from accolades for that. And notice where you feel that in your body and how strong it might be. Take a deep breath, open your eyes. Scott, you want to start us off?
Yeah, so the creative child, at whatever age he or she is in your body, it, when you were young, you needed a lot of encouragement, a lot of tenderness, a lot of attention, so that the little blossoms of creativity could start to bloom. And most of us did not get that from our piano teachers or our choir teachers. In fact, many of us have gotten to that like definition: I am not a singer, or no, I am not an artist. And we come up with these conclusions out of pain, out of trauma. So let's unconclude everything that we have concluded about our creativity, go back to beginner's mind and reconnect with that divine child.
Awesome.
Yeah. I choose to reclaim my clean slate as a creative child of God, and I deeply love and accept myself. I choose to reclaim the clean slate that I was given as a child, the magic markers, all the colors, all the freedom to draw without lines, to sing like there's no one watching. That innocence that I once was in touch with as a creative child. I reclaim it. And I'm choosing to love and honor and accept myself, whether I'm being creative or not. Because this isn't something I do to perform, to get love from others. This is something I do that just nurtures my soul, being creative. So I reclaim my divine right to a clean slate with my creativity. And I deeply love, honor, and accept myself and anyone who is partly responsible for introducing the blocks that I still may carry with me from childhood. So imagining, Brad, you'd like me to continue?
Yeah, why don't you go ahead? Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, all these blocks to the free flow of creativity,
The free flow of creativity.
all these fears that I would be hurt if I let it flow. Firstly, fears of my own judgments coming up. These inner voices that are just waiting to judge me and my creativity. Oh, this judgment. Maybe if I could judge myself bad enough, people will leave me alone and no one will judge me. All of this protection against judgment. And somewhere along the line, in all of that fear and judgment, I lost something precious and something that I've never lost. Just something that's resurfacing as I let these judgments slide away. It's a child of spontaneity, whether it be sadness or gaiety, whatever emotion I'm feeling, I'm willing to creatively be revealing, to turn the blues into a dance or a song, to shake my body till I know I'm not wrong, till I know there is nothing I can do that's wrong or bad. So I'm learning to reconnect and reselect that freedom that is my birthright. Freedom to make mistakes, paint outside the lines, sing as if there's no one watching, dance like there's no tomorrow, expressing myself creatively in body, mind, and spirit.
Awesome. So everyone close your eyes, take a deep breath, and just go inside and let that rattle around inside. Notice that little kid inside going, yes, finally. And also notice if there's any part of you that's like, hmm, still not entirely sure. And be aware of what might be coming up as to why you couldn't or shouldn't allow that reckless abandon and that that free spirit. And feel free to write, share in the comments what might be coming up for you. And as always, you'll see me throughout these things always tapping the collarbone. Just figure I'm just gonna take this time to clear anything that might be going on in there. All the there's so many health benefits to doing the tapping and down regulating stress and allowing ourselves to feel better. So, and yes, Holly, this will be saved on the YouTube channel. Trust Universe said, "Oh my God, I prayed for this duo." Thank you. Um, I'm gonna jump into around here. Even though I might still feel some resistance around this, I choose to love and accept myself. Even though I might still feel some resistance around this, I choose to love and honor myself. Even though I might still feel some resistance around this, there are still some parts of me saying, "Oh, sure, it's easy for these guys to look like idiots. But I'm not allowed to do that." And even though I still have some fear and resistance, I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. And maybe anyone else who's contributed to this, because I choose to feel that free. All this resistance around creativity, all this fear of letting my inner child come out to play, all this need to be a serious grown up, all this need to be perfect. I have so many messages about that. So many times in my past where I had the fun knocked right out of me. And I got the message to not do that. Don't color outside the lines. Don't do what other people aren't doing. Don't do anything unique or different, or there will be pain involved. And I didn't want pain. Pain sucks. So I choose to love and appreciate those parts of me that robbed me of fun in order to save me from pain. In some ways, it seems like a reasonable trade-off. What if I could clear the pain? Then could I allow myself more fun? Then could I release my inner artist? Then could I mess around with the colors? And maybe even dare to sing off tune or screw up my words in front of a live audience and still know that I'm okay. And it's only painful if I decide it to be. I'm opening myself up to that possibility as an act of love for myself and as an act of love for the world. Because I have gifts and talents to share. even when my artwork isn't award-winning, I'm growing. I'm getting better and better. So I'm releasing the fear, letting it go from every fiber of my being, letting it go all the way back through my past, releasing all that pain of criticism, all that belief that I was getting it wrong because someone else didn't understand, because it was outside their comfort zone, because it pushed buttons for them, because they hadn't allowed themselves to be creative. They were convinced that it wasn't safe to be creative. They were trying to teach me a lesson they thought would save me. And what if it's all a mistake? And it's time to set myself free. And I am loving myself in the process, in body, mind, and spirit. Take a deep breath. And I think you better prepare yourself for the musical stylings of Mr. Scott Grace, who now has his guitar with him.
Brad, there's usually a button that you need to press to make the guitar soundable. It's usually next to view on the upper right-hand corner. It's musician something, and it says on or off. Usually it's off until you turn it on.
Uh, I have no such button on mine.
Okay, never mind. Maybe with the live, it doesn't matter.
Okay, let's
Oh,
see. I'll try to.
Brad, there is a song isn't there? On that thing. What do you know?
I
Don't worry, be happy. Three
No,
little
I
birds.
it is so out of tune. I haven't played it
All right, all right,
in
all right.
some time, and
I don't know how to access the chat, but I would love to know if there's anybody who would like to share like what their specific block, fear, or concern is around self-expression, creativity, playfulness, and I'm going to address it in a song.
very cool. So who's got something coming up that it's like I can't be creative because dot dot dot. I can't allow myself to be playful because dot dot dot. All right. Anya's reassuring us that we can hear the guitar.
Oh, good.
Uh, Biggest fear is traveling. You're afraid that if you are creative, you'll have to travel. Salhat says, I'll be alone.
Creativity
I'll
means being
be,
alone. Mhm.
People will abandon me if I'm creative. Need to be a man to fully express myself. Women aren't supposed to be creative. Leave that to the guys.
Oh my goodness.
Fear of sounding stupid or rejection. Fear of being ridiculed. Is that
We
enough fodder?
learned we learned all this stuff way back in school. Fear of being punished or ridiculed, but we're letting go of that now. Rereading and writing our vows. Let there be playfulness. Somebody said they fear they'd be all alone. that being creative means being on your own, ready to let that go and find your creative tribe. You don't need solitude for creative food. Don't have to worry if people were rude in the past. You're letting all that go now. Tap your points and simply allow the skin to be shed. It's time for this snake to get wet. You got a new pair of skins, and it comes from within, and it's making your inner child grin. Just to know there's a flow you're already in. There's a flow of creative genius you're already in. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Everybody take a deep breath and close your eyes and go inside and just follow your breath through your body and just let that wash over you. And notice notice any part of you that says, I can't do that. Notice on a scale of 0 to 10 how strong that might be. Take a deep breath, open your eyes. Even though I can't do that, I choose to love and accept myself. Even though I'm not that creative, I choose to love and honor myself. Even though I'm not allowed to be creative, because that's not who I am. And if I even tried, I'd be ridiculed and humiliated. And even though I just can't do that, I choose to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. And maybe anyone else who contributed to this belief, because I choose to feel that free. All this fear that I can't do that. I'm not creative. I'm not artistic. And if I even tried, people would laugh at me. Not in the good way, like a comedian gets, but in a humiliating way, letting me know that I'm not good enough. I'm not talented enough. I'm not as talented as other people. And I always compare myself to the most talented person. I always look for someone who's better at something than I am. And allow myself to be defined by that. Not because I'm bad or stupid. Not because I am weak or lazy, but because I've learned that this keeps me safe. It costs me a lot of fun, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make for safety. Funny thing is, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. My favorite song is unlistenable to somebody else. My favorite painting, someone else thinks it's garbage. And I might create something that they would love. There are people who have more experience than I do. It doesn't mean that they have more creativity. They've just practiced their creativity longer. I'm giving myself permission to practice. I'm giving myself permission to risk looking silly. I'm giving myself permission to totally fall on my face. And even if I don't totally screw up, whatever I create won't be appreciated by everybody on the planet. No one has received universal approval. So who am I to expect that? And people might not like what I have to offer as much as other people's offerings. That doesn't mean I don't have value. So I'm clearing this fear, setting myself joyfully free in body, mind, and spirit. And take a deep breath. Go inside and let that rattle around and notice what's coming up. And if there are particular memories that are coming up, if hopefully that if you were aware of those before and were aware of how much discomfort they might bring up, hopefully it's bringing up less discomfort now, and it's something that you can go and do more tapping on. If there's a memory that comes up, it's like, oh, this is something significant that I might want to let go of. That's in EFT we have a thing called the personal peace process, which means you write down every memory that is uncomfortable. Rate it on a scale of 0 to 10 as to how uncomfortable it is, and tap it until it just doesn't bother you anymore. And then you have personal peace. Then you have real freedom to live your best life. Mr. Grace, over to you.
Yes, I'm here.
You want to take us through some more tapping or other thoughts before we start to wrap up?
I serve at the pleasure of you, Brad. Well, what do you think has not been covered, or could use more diving into?
Oh, it would take weeks, if not years, to cover everything that
All
might
right.
stifle somebody's creativity.
So
What inspires you?
let's end with some fun. So there's a part of me called the spiritual Dr. Seuss, and you just
Excellent.
saw him a tiny bit, but we're gonna let the spiritual Dr. Seuss do a tapping round. So, and caution, don't try to repeat everything I say. You'll be a little lost, and I'd rather you just enjoy the
Yeah.
words, let them wash over you, breathe, do your best to not admire me or care about me in any way whatsoever, but just let the words spark you and your delight, because this is just about delight. So right now, tapping on the side of my hand, I choose to be delighted, and I deeply love and accept myself. I choose to be like a flame that's been ignited, and I love and honor myself. I choose to surprise even myself with just how past my comfort zone I'm willing to roam. And I love, honor, and accept myself just as much when I'm not creative as when I let it rip. Because in God's eyes, I'm always creative. I mean, I'm the creation. I'm the creator. Everything I do is creativity. Every breath I take creates worlds. So I'm celebrating my creativity as I learn to deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. I like this accepting myself. My doctor thinks it's good for my health. Brad Yates says it's going to help me with my wealth. All I need to do is stop thinking that I'm unworthy and start remembering that I am a divine bottle of God's finest wine. I'm talking French Bordeaux from the greatest hills of France. And if you don't like to drink, don't worry, have some cheese instead. But we're just tapping our way our seriousness. We're tapping away our rigidity. We're like taking those eggshells we were taught to walk on and just cracking them, getting cracked and cracked up and cracked open. No more dreaming of being silly and playful. That's a nice dream to have, but right now I'm breaking those eggshells. It's like Jesus turned water to wine. Moses went through the Red Sea. I'm going to find my creativity. I'm going to part the Red Sea of my doubts and all this trying to figure things out before they even unfold. Oh, my mind, so full of plans, thinking it has to understand. But every plan is just another way that makes God laugh. So I'm walking down the path, breaking those eggshells as I go, letting my creativity emerge nice and slow. Because each time I let more up and out, it clears out the judgments and the doubts. So it brings to the surface, you could say, the sludge, but it's only coming up to be delivered to love. So each step I take on this creative journey, I'm doing it without my defense attorney because my creativity needs no defense. And my adult self needs no pretense. No more pretending I've got it together. It's okay to fall apart because where am I going to fall but right into my heart? And anytime I fall on the floor, I just press restart, pick myself up, and keep on going. This row, row, row your boat don't need any more rowing because I'm turning the boat downstream and no effort is involved. There's no problem to be solved. I'm just flowing with the current letting it take me somewhere. Always does, always will. And my job is to relax and chill in body, mind, and spirit.
That was awesome. So, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and you know, just let whatever's processing process. For whatever different things might be coming up, just allowing whatever might have gotten sparked there, just allowing the tapping to keep clearing away those layers. And go ahead and keep your eyes closed. So as those of you who joined me before know, I always like to end these sessions with some guided imagery. So as long as you've got your eyes closed, go ahead and get yourself comfortable. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and hold it, and let it go. Another deep breath in and hold it, and let it go. A third deep breath in and hold it, and let it go. Now, just breathing comfortably with your eyes closed. Breathing comfortably, and just imagine that with each breath you take in, you breathe in relaxation and positive energy. Go ahead and imagine a healing light of whatever color you like surrounding your body so that with each breath you take in, your lungs comfortably draw in that healing light, allowing it to flow through every muscle, nerve, fiber, tissue, cell, and atom of your body. Imagine a healing shower flowing down, crystal clear water that's a perfect temperature as it flows over the top of your head, soothing and relaxing your scalp, washing away fear, doubt, anxiety, washing away anger, sadness, guilt, shame, washing away pain, frustration, disappointment, embarrassment, washing these away to reveal the light that you truly are, this unique expression of divine light and love, allowing more and more of that light to be revealed as that healing shower flows over the top of your head, soothing and relaxing your scalp, flowing down over your forehead, relaxing the muscles in your face, flowing down over the back of your head, your neck, your shoulders, washing away tension, leaving your shoulders calm, comfortable, and relaxed. That healing shower flowing down your arms, all the way down over your fingertips, down over your chest and your stomach, soothing and relaxing, healing and cleansing, and allowing yourself to remain comfortably in whatever position you choose. Allow that healing shower to flow down over your upper and lower back. And as your torso relaxes, your internal organs comfortably do whatever they need to do to achieve and maintain your optimal level of health and well-being in body, mind, and spirit. As that healing shower continues down over your body, down over your hips and your thighs, over your knees, down your lower legs, through your ankles, into your feet. And finally, that relaxation flows over your toes as you allow yourself to relax twice as much, going at least twice as deep with each number as I count backwards: 5, drifting down to 4, floating down to 3, 2, 1, and 0 is deep sleep. Deeper, deeper. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0 is deep sleep. And in this calm, comfortable state of mind and body, go ahead and imagine yourself in some beautiful space Some place where you allow yourself to be present to the beauty, the magnificence, the abundance of creation. Allowing yourself to be really creative with this. You get to decide what you see. Allow yourself to let go of any limitations about what you can allow yourself to imagine right now. You can imagine yourself at the ocean, watching the sunset. And if you want, you can make it different colors. Allow yourself to be playful. Imagine in this space that you see all kinds of creative tools, like maybe over there are some art supplies and a canvas. Over here are some musical instruments. Over there is racks with costumes on them. There's this whole playroom where you could be creative and allow yourself to be aware of what thoughts and feelings might come up. And allow yourself to imagine a very loving light washing over you so that if any old discomfort comes up, any old doubts about being able to do something fun and playful and creative and artistic, just that healing light just washes over you and melts that away, melts away everything that has been built up since you were a child who just wanted to play. It melts away anything that's not useful. You're not going to wash away the intelligence and wisdom and the proper responsibility that gets you through life. Giving yourself permission to wash away that stuff that limits your ability to have fun and to share your gifts and talents with the world. And you might imagine that there are other people there, and now there's even some other feelings and a feeling of humiliation. And allow yourself to ask yourself, why am I required to feel humiliated? That's an option. Allowing yourself to be in this place with other people watching, and you're allowing yourself to be creative, or even just thinking about being creative, and allow yourself to recognize that humiliation is an option. Feeling humiliated is a choice that you can choose not to make. Recognizing that as a child, things might have happened and you didn't know that. And absolutely loving and forgiving that younger self that chose to feel humiliated because that's what you were told you were supposed to feel by people who just didn't know any better. And allowing that confusion to just melt away into the past and giving yourself freedom to have fun. Allowing yourself to trust that when you're coming from a place of joy and love, you won't be hurting people. Some people might give you the idea that they would be hurt by your creativity. When it's coming from love, it won't be hurtful. Allowing yourself to release what doesn't feel like love. Letting that healing light continue to wash over you, melting away what isn't love. And then just standing there, this unique expression of divine love, just wanting to play and inviting others to play with you and spreading joy. Choosing to feel joy. And allow that to feel better and better as we go deeper and deeper now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And 0 is deep sleep. In a moment, I'll count you back out from 0 up to 5. 5 will be wide awake, alert, focused, and energetic, feeling much better than before, feeling a greater freedom to play with ideas, to see what you can put out there, and to know that you're awesome even when your attempts don't feel perfect. Allowing yourself to know that allowing yourself to be creative is a win-win situation. Either you find something that works really well or you get better at it. And as you allow yourself to be more and more free, that's a wonderful invitation to others to do the same. Tonight, when you choose to go to sleep, don't be surprised when you fall asleep quickly, soundly, deeply, and sleep very well through the night. During the night, you'll dream. The more you dream, the stronger you become. I'm going to ask your unconscious mind to allow at least one of your dreams to be a very healing dream. Continuing this healing process in body, mind, and spirit so that in the morning, at the time you've chosen to wake up, you wake up easily, feeling refreshed, energetic, and ready to start the day again, powerfully moving forward into an ever more joyful experience of an ever greater abundance of health, wealth, happiness, and love, which are your birthright and which benefit others. And now go back down to 0, which is always deep sleep, allowing your mind, body, and spirit to digest all these positive thoughts and images, taking them in at a very deep level so that these positive changes occur easily, effortlessly, and naturally. Coming up to 1, feeling physically relaxed. 2, feeling emotionally calm and confident. 3, health and well-being, enthusiasm, love, joy, and gratitude flowing through every muscle, nerve, fiber, tissue, cell, and atom of your body. 4, becoming more and more alert and aware of your surroundings. And 5 is eyes open, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, wide awake, and welcome back. How you doing?
I'm very relaxed.
Good. All right. Well, Scott, thanks so much for coming and playing with me here. And thank you to everyone who has joined us, all the folks who have joined us from around the world, allowing yourselves to be more creative all around the world, more joyful and loving all around the world. And everyone who will join us on the recording, thank you for setting yourself free because whatever you clear, even if it doesn't inspire you to pick up a guitar or a paintbrush or something like that, that freedom that you give yourself is going to show up in other ways such that you allow yourself to create an even more awesome life. And that is a benefit to others. So please and thank you. And we'll be back with more tag team tapping next week. So, Scott, any final words?
I love you guys. Thank you for joining us in the wisdom of play. Thank you for being wise enough to be willing to be foolish. I love you. Have a wonderful day.